Warning: if you have not yet seen The Chestnut Man, the following may contain spoilers. When The Chestnut Man hit Netflix, we all knew we were in for a ride, but little did we know it would be this creepy. That's why everyone wants to know, The Chestnut Man Season 2, will Netflix renew or cancel? We're going to find out later in this video. But first, is The Chestnut Man based on a true story? Let's just get it out there that The Chestnut Man was most definitely not based on a true story. It's actually an adoption of a book by writer Soren Sveistrup, but he did not come up with a story out of nowhere. The roots of the creepy Chestnut Man are an annual Danish tradition for some. Each year, when the chestnuts fall from the trees, children will make small dolls out of chestnuts and matches to be displayed in windows, classrooms, or wherever they want to place them. It's a cozy children's game. This is how, on one autumn day a few years back, Sveistrup came up with the initial idea for the book. When he went to pick up his youngest in kindergarten, he saw the children assembling chestnut men while singing an innocent children's song that went like, "Chestnut man, do come in, Chestnut man, do come in." And despite the innocent setting, Sveistrup was thoroughly creeped out by the invitation, or maybe that was exactly why it gave him the chills. And instead of shrugging it off, Sveistrup decided to follow his anxieties and use the small doll as a signature on a scene of a crime. So really, we should thank the children for this incredibly disturbing image. Now, the detail of the Chestnut Man that had fans confused. From the moment the Nordic crime drama was released on Netflix, it sat comfortably in the top 10 most watched TV list. Many binged on the entire series as it came out and were quick to rave about their new obsession online. But despite its clear popularity, there were somehow had to point out that even the Chestnut Man had fallen prey to some all too predictable cliches. You wouldn't really expect from someone who is as renounced as Soren Sveistrup, given that he was also the screenwriter behind the undeniably hair-raising The Killing, a show that won various international awards and even got itself an American remake. Still, it was distracting enough for some that they felt the need to be vocal about it. We're talking about how the cop wanders off to follow up on a highly dangerous lead in search of a dangerous murderer without letting anyone know where they're going, which naturally ends up with the cop being captured. We've all seen it enough times to now see it coming from miles away. It has the same vibes as the person in the horror movie who tries to be the hero and goes to investigate that suspicious sound in the basement. Just don't. But in the end, there's a reason some things are cliche, and that's because they simply happen a lot. Maybe that's because we would do the same if we were in their position. We just don't want to admit it. Next, want to watch more shows like The Chestnut Man? Can't get enough of Nordic Noir and really can't wait for Season 2 to come out? If it's ever coming out to begin with? Well, you're in luck. Ever since The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, there has been a steady increase in the Scandamania, which was solidified by shows like The Bridge and The Killing. But have you seen Outlier? In this Norwegian crime drama, a teenager goes missing in a small town, and the criminology student Maja travels back to her hometown from London to tell the police they caught the wrong guy. And what about the Danish Cry Wolf? From the writers of Borgen and Follow the Money, this drama follows a family when they're sent spinning after their 14-year-old daughter accuses her stepfather of abuse. The Swedish The Truth Will Out currently has 2 seasons. At its center is Detective Peter Wendell, who is commissioned to form a new team that is to reopen unresolved murder cases. But instead of a competent team, he finds himself with a somewhat third-rate and conflicting staff. And then someone claims the Swedish infamous murder is a fraud. And lastly, we have Snow Angels, the Swedish drama series. A baby disappears in the middle of a heavy snowstorm, and police officer Alice has a feeling there's something not quite right about the statements of the parents. As you can see, there's more than enough to keep us company. Don't go anywhere. We still have more to come. Do you know where The Chestnut Man was filmed? And what actually happened in the last episode? Will we get a Season 2 of The Chestnut Man? Next up in this video. To begin, where was The Chestnut Man filmed? One of the things that make Nordic crime shows so riveting is undoubtedly the scenery. Everlasting rain, nights that go on forever during winter, and vast wild woods. There's just something about the North that is so unlike anywhere that it will suck you into any story that takes place there, especially if it's a crime drama. As you know, the atmosphere is everything, and the weirdest thing is probably that these shows are telling us about the darkest sides of humans, yet we keep coming back for more. Maybe it's because Scandinavia's landscape, so vast and unknowable, is just as comforting as it is insidious. This is why it's interesting to take a closer look at where these shows were filmed. Not much is known about the exact film locations for The Chestnut Man, but we do know that a lot of it took place in one central location, Copenhagen, the capital town of Denmark. Copenhagen was once a small fishing village, but these days it's grown quite populous. The story takes place in a more quiet suburb, but it's not clear if any of the city center's colorful buildings have also been used for scenes. Some still also suggest that quite a lot of filming took place in a dense area of forestry, which could be Harskoven, one of Denmark's oldest forests. Next, The Chestnut Man ending Explained. When Christine's fingerprints are discovered on a chestnut figure that is found close to the body of Laura Kjaer, there's hope again that Christine might still be alive after all. The mystery of what happened to Christine keeps simmering throughout the crime thriller, but it is eventually discovered that she is still alive. It is also revealed that the Chestnut Man is none other than Simon Gens, the head of the forensic department. We should have known, who had been part of the police investigation all along. It is discovered by Detective Hess that the foster son, who was potentially involved in a historic family killing back in 1987, may have grown up to become the Chestnut Killer. The name of the boy was Toke Bering, but a school photo reunion photo confirmed that this was in fact Simon Gens, who changed his name at the age of 18. When Rosa was still a child, her parents had taken him in, and when he was taken away again, he blamed her. The next home wasn't exactly pleasant, and this gave Gens the motive that would eventually lead him to take action against Christine and other mothers who abandoned or neglected their children. But he didn't kill Christine because she didn't fit the bill of his other victims. The reign of terror of the Chestnut Man is ended when he has an unfortunate run-in with a tree. And now let's talk the Chestnut Man Season 2. Will Netflix renew or cancel? At the moment, there's not even a whisper about the show being renewed for a second season, let alone that there are any dates to share. Looking at how the Chestnut Man wrapped up and the name of the show, it seems rather unlikely that the show will be renewed. The Chestnut Man rather neatly knotted up most of its own loose threads, making it a tidy standalone series. The bad man is dead, the mystery surrounding Christine is solved, and she's found alive. There really isn't much to work with for another season. That is, unless we want to see Hess and Thulin reuniting to solve another case. But it all depends on whether Netflix will think it's worth it. Though, in all honesty, we can never have enough Nordic Noir crimes with strong female leads, and the Chestnut Man has been received with an overwhelmingly positive response, even if there were moments of cliche that caused some frustration. So, with that in mind, there shouldn't be any reason for Netflix to not give it a green light for a Season 2. If they do decide to do that, the new premiere will most likely premiere sometime in late 2022 or early 2023 at its latest, given that the production of police procedural takes around a year or so. So, there you go. All we know about the Chestnut Man. Maybe if we continue asking for a new season, Netflix will oblige. But for now, its future looks rather bleak. Do you know of any other Nordic Noirs that we missed? And did you see the big twist of the Chestnut Man coming? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.